Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String again with another racket restringing tutorial. Today we'll be doing a tennis racket. I don't think I've done this one tutorial wise, at least. It is a Wilson Blade Pro 1820 V9. It is the W22H, so it is the Pro version. Very nice shiny gloss finish. 1820 version, like I've mentioned. Huge grip, actually, grip size 4, just caught my eye. We'll be stringing it with the Solinco Confidential in a 120mm as per request by the client. He's actually just I've spoke to him, and he's actually just a recreational player, but has seemed to gone all out on the racket. And I did advise a different setup on strings, and he seems to have tested quite a few different polys. Said he likes the dead feeling, which is fine. Everybody has different preferences. But yeah, let's crack on with it. Obviously set your racket nicely on the machine. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Make sure it's got a little bit of jiggle. When I say jiggle, not so much, but just make sure it's not twisted onto the machine. This will also vary very much depending on what machine you have. I will say that much. It seems that, you know, if you do have a crank machine or a manual machine, depending how many fixtures you have, that'll dictate how loose or how tight you may have to put it on your machine. If it's a portable machine, it will vary. But if it's a big machine, if you have a big machine, you can see it's minimal jiggle, just enough for the racket to adjust in size. It does change size ever so slightly, so that's why you need to give it that little bit of space. If not, you may struggle to get it off the machine, and you definitely don't want to do that. So it's an 1820, 305 grams, by the way, for those of you that may not know this racket. Hard racket to get a hold of. It used to be anyway. I don't know now, in the V9 version, but nothing new. But yeah, one to each side, guys. You can see I've set up my middle strings, 1 to each side, 9 to each side, minus the 1 to each side. That leaves us with 8. We need 8 more to each side. So I counted against the frame as so: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Client brought 2 of these. Already done one, saved the other one for now for this video. And then what I'm going to do is with the rest, it's just a set of string, it's not a reel. So now I'm going to do is run my hands through the rest with the side I've already measured, and you can see now I'm going to do is cut myself a nice sharp edge. That way it's easy to get the string through the grommets or the holes. It's got 8 holes at the bottom, 4 loops, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. You have no choice but to start at the top. And that goes for any racket of 8 holes, 4 loops at the bottom. It is a brand new racket, guys, so you're going to add 2, you could even go 3 kilos, but the recommendation is 2. This does lose a lot of tension because obviously it's never been strung before, so the grommets haven't set. A lot of pros out there will string the racket once and then just cut the strings out straight away. But obviously, not being pros, I guess we don't need to worry about that for now. We're going to string symmetrically, so that means we have to always compensate to each side. So I've now done 3. You don't want to go over 3, whether it's a tennis, squash, or badminton racket. So that's our second one here. I want to do one more, and then it doesn't matter what side. Sometimes when I'm teaching people, oh, what side now? It doesn't matter what side, guys. As long as you're compensating every time you do 3, 3, 3, 3, and so on and so on. And then I've even had the odd question of, oh, but it's 16, 19, now I can't do 3. What do I do? Well, you've only got 2 left. Once you've done 3 and 3 to each side, or another 3, which would be 6. Obviously, you've got nowhere else to go but to finish your mains, which is 2. 6 plus 2, 8. 8 to each side, 8 times 2, or 8 plus 8, 16. And you have your 16 mains. This one, with 18 mains, you can obviously go 3, 3, 3, which is 3 times 3 is 9. I know, I'm a mathematician. I hope you guys are too. That's 3 to each side. Now we go to our 4th to the other side. This is the healthiest way, guys, to string a racket. If not, you may find yourself with a funny looking racket sometimes, or you may even damage the racket. So highly recommend that you do it this way, because it's irrelevant. I mean, at least to us as stringers, whether we do 5, 4, 3, 2, 8, or whatever, 9 to each side, and then the other side, you've got to pull all the strings. So why not be nice and kind to your frame? And I've got 6 now. Now I'm number 7. I have not skipped any holes, as you guys can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're not going to skip at the bottom for our 7th, but we are going to skip at the top. So, no skipping at the bottom for now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No skipping. But we are going to skip our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th grommet for our 8th main. Up your tension for the last main before you tie your finishing knot. %, that is. As you would have seen, I've skipped another hole, which will be one of our crosses. Will be our 2nd cross. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 1, 8. Skip 1, 9. At the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Skip 1, 9. As mentioned, up your tension, because now we are doing our finishing knot. Parnell knot all the way, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Perfecto. Cut your knot nice and short, guys. Don't get too carried away. Always release your clamp first, because there's always going to be a little bit of movement. That's losing your lag, pretty much. Any lag that is inside the frames per se. So we've done 7. No skipping at the bottom. There is a skip at the top, as you can see, as I pointed out on the other side. Last main. Up your tension. Right. Up your tension 20% before tying off a finishing knot, which I've done. You may not be able to see my screen, but I do have a LED screen on here, which is, how do you call it? Touch tone? Touch screen? Touch screen. So you can probably see the lag. Let me show you how that is now going to disappear. Give that a nice pull. Make sure. There's always going to be a tiny bit of lag, guys. It's very hard to remove all of it. Completely normal. Don't let it tease you. But try to get that lag out as much as possible. Sounds nice. Sounds nice. 2 pounds less on the crosses, 46 pounds. I'm doing 5 pounds on top of the tension that the client has requested, because, as I mentioned before, the grommets have not set and it will lose a couple kilos, 4 or 5 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a half 8. Well, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 now. tiny bit. Perfect. So Lincoln really don't mess around. They don't really give you much space for margin. So if I would have left myself a bit more than I did, as you guys might have seen, that's what I left on each side. I believe I didn't cut that, did I? Let's see what's in this garbage. Okay, so I did chop the other one. But yes, be careful how much you leave yourself with sets of strings. You want to be aware of this, because if it's just a set of string and you go over on your mains, you will be in trouble for your crosses. So Linko really don't give you much margin, it would see, at least with the confidential. So Linko confidential strings. I don't know about the other ones. I normally use reels, or clients typically bring in reels, not all the time, but typically. Don't know if you guys noticed, but I've already done my starting knot, which is also a Parnell knot. Parnell, his name is Richard, good buddy of mine, who invented this knot and is a world renowned stringer. So as you can see with my right hand, I'm pulling the string down to avoid scratching the string. This is what happens. Friction between the mains and the crosses, very common. 12:15 UK London time. And then always give it a little push upwards, and you'll see why now. You don't have to, but it's a nice little habit to adopt, perhaps. Strings. Your cross strings should always be opposite. If my string is going over, the next one should be under, the next one should be over. There's no rush, guys, to pull your strings across. Be careful, you don't want to scratch your string, or also scratching is effectively burning. So you just go nice and easy. Always, always, always keep moving that string up and down, always. See, now when I'm pulling the string, you don't, oh, what's happened here? It didn't catch for some reason. But you don't want the string to be down. You want to always push it upwards. That way, when you finish your racket, it's as straight as possible, instead of all these wavy strings, which then you should be, if that does happen to you, if you get a lot of wavy or unstraight strings that are not straight, you will want to push them upwards or straighten them up when you finish the racket and you take it off the machine, so it looks nice and professional. But you can avoid that as much as possible. At least it's never going to be 100% perfect, very rare, but support the string, make sure it goes down. When you finish the racket and you have to move the strings all around again, you're effectively losing tension, so you want to be careful with that as well. Little attention to detail on that. For the sake of just keeping your left hand on the string whilst it's being pulled. Well, not just keeping your left hand on the string, but pushing upwards slightly, fighting against the tension in itself when the machine's pulling, as here. Yeah. Most of my rackets that I string needs typically very little movement of strings. But obviously experience will teach you that. To keep them nice and straight, that way you don't have to mess around too much with them afterwards. It's been a busy morning here. First racket of the day, I think. Yeah. Normally I'm on the machine by 9:15, but I had a lot of orders to dispatch. Rackets, a few almost 20 reels to send out to Dubai, different parts of the UK. Getting more string. We keep all of our reels since Brexit. Unfortunately, we keep all our reels now in Spain. My dad helps me out. Good man. We have a boo-boo. I went under, but I can catch that very quickly. Again, experience will help you with that, but that's me going kind of quickly. I know I've started my day off a little bit, stringing wise. Like I said, it's the first one. But yeah, lots of things this morning. So this is the latest I've started in a very long time, maybe ever with my normal day-to-day stringing requirements, etc., which is fine. But yeah, I need to get myself in gear. As you can see, my left hand always supporting the string, and always straight away, as it is a habit for me, keep that right hand moving. Under, over, under, over, under, boom. Pull down, pull down, pull down. Bish bosh, bang. Where are you guys watching from? Give us a little comment, a little follow, subscribe. Hopefully these videos are helping people out. I'm getting a lot of traction regarding pro strings. If you're a stringer, if you run a club, if you're a coach, if you're a player, anybody that's quite affiliated in the tennis world life, with our Pro String Nemesis, you get a direct 40% off, no questions asked, and that's £100. Our normal price to the public is £100. That gets reduced straight away to 60. If it's someone I don't really know, if I can't find you online representing that you're a coach, club, stringer, so on and so on, you may have to send your proof of stringing qualification, just to keep it groovy, or some kind of proof of player, whether it be ITFs, doesn't matter, juniors, or anything, just some kind of little proof to say, hey, yes, I am a player and I would love to have a discount, or even try your strings out. We do send out free, lots of free, we're always constantly sending out lots of free strings for people to try. However, all we ask is that you cover the small fee, depending obviously, of course, where we're shipping to, the small fee of shipping, because that really shows that you are interested. Most of the time, people that are paying for shipping and then are happy with the string will always convert into a sale. We have found over the years that most people that, yeah, I want to try your string. Yeah, of course, everyone's just looking for a free set of string, and you just don't know who you're dealing with these days online, and random emails, random comments, random text messages through our business line or Instagram page, which is Pro String. Simple as that. So we find that most people that do not pay for shipping, that's how we kind of figured this one out all by ourselves. The sale wasn't converting, which is fine. It's not always going to convert, but most people that don't want to pay for shipping, they just want a free string, and not even affiliated really in tennis. They're just looking to get a freebie. Doesn't cost most people anything to, if you don't ask, you don't get in this life, right? So everybody was asking, I was always giving, and then I came to the conclusion that this is not working like this. I can't keep spending hundreds of pounds, euros. I'm happy to give away the string for free. That's cheap enough. And anyway, that's that. And our motto is, why pay more? I'm speaking to a father of a player who's playing British tours. This is the highest level of national tournaments. It's called British Tours in the UK. He was just very grateful. So thanks so much, Ray. Saving so much money compared to RPM Blast, and it's very similar. If anything, it's nicer. He's using the Pro String Pentagon. This player in himself is breaking 3 sets of strings a week, sorry, should I say. It's getting stronger. I think he's 17 or 18 now. Getting bigger, stronger, hitting a bigger ball with more spin and so on. Last string, guys. And also, just in case, I don't know if I mentioned, I don't think I did. I've just used, you've seen that I've always had 2 strings ready to go, let's say, yeah? So that's called stringing one ahead or one in front. And what that does is helps you with an easier weave on the next string. So even if I have one weaved already, I always weave that second one to make my second weave always easier, if that makes sense. If you go through most of our videos, I do have that explained. What I don't like about this racket is the very little space. I mean, I could go one up here. You know, I might just do that. The other racket I did, I mean, consistency wise, you should always go for the same kind of hole. But in this one, there's like no space. And I did it in there yesterday. I thought, why did I do that? But anyway, it's okay. This one's gonna go here today. It's a little bit further up, one hole further up. I know that the string's not gonna fit, guys, so that's why I'm using the awl. Be very careful. As you've seen, I'm twisting, pushing forward and twisting, twisting and pushing forward. Don't just push in like an animal, yeah? There was plenty of space, but because the racket's so new, using the awl is definitely only the way I'm gonna get in there. And we're gonna remove our lag. That's gone now. Parnell knot, guys, for finishing and starting knots. Chop your knot, and there you have it, guys. Another one for the records. Very good. Happy with that. It's quite tight, actually. But as I mentioned before, moving those strings back into the middle to be nice and straight, so it looks pro all the way. Even if you're not a pro, even if you're not a pro player, but at least from a stringing aspect, straighten up those strings. Always gives you your client a good first impression. It's like leaving long knots and stuff like that. It's always going to give you a bad look. Guys, there you have it. The Wilson Blade V9 Pro 18x20, 305 grams, strung with Solinco Confidential at 48x46 on the mains, with an increase of 5 pounds for the mains and the crosses because the racket was brand new. I know you can't see my dash here, my little dashboard or the screen, but there you have it. Guys, any questions, feedback, you name it, don't hesitate in dropping us a comment. Give us a follow if you can. Regardless, happy stringing, all the best. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully this was of good use to, even if it's just one person, then happy days that are able to help someone. Take care, guys. Happy stringing. Bye-bye.